Love is a wonderful emotion that can make you go mad. Love is something which makes you feel very different from within, and that shows its signs in your body language. You might end up showing all of these signs unknowingly, and it is true that nonverbal communication is more significant than just verbal talks. When you start falling in love, the body secretes a number of hormones. Your brain releases chemicals like vasopressin, adrenaline, dopamine, and oxytocin that light up your neural receptors and make you feel both pleasure and euphoric sense of purpose. You feel that you and the lover is one. Another important hormone is serotonin. It is one of the love's most important chemicals and it may actually make people temporarily insane. For this reason, we say that love is madness. If you still doubt this, look at some crazy reactions of some lovers. This means that the hormone serotonin is there, somewhere in their body. At the beginning, you may be confused whether you love or like someone, but liking is the initial stage of loving. Liking is something in which you may handle yourself, but not when in love. Love has its own particular body language. Body language here means nonverbal communication expressed by posture, stance, and bodily movements. It is not your fault, the hormones do it. Falling in love for someone may be stressful in the early stage. There is uncertainty about whether he or she feels the same way. To reduce the level of anxiety, look out for these body language signs to discover if someone is in love with you regardless of his verbal communication. It will be a great way to tap into his or her subconscious and feelings. Our bodies esprime feelings throughout involuntary gestures and movements of different parts of body. The legs are one of the most important signs of body language. When a person starts to leave, the legs move before the body, especially if the person is in a hurry. The feet tend to point where the heart wants to go. The legs language appears when a person does not like you. He leaves quickly, moving his feet and legs. If he loves you, he keeps his feet and legs right in line with you. This shows that he wants to get closer to you. If a woman puts her legs slowly on each other or returns her legs slowly, this means that she likes you. Shoulders happen to be one of the most expressive body parts. It can twist and bend, and it can be bent forward or backward. This area is difficult to control to hide our feelings, so in a state of anxiety, it is difficult to control shoulders. If someone gave you a back, that this means that he wants to leave or is uncomfortable with you and wants to protect his body and his person. In a love case, a roll in a shoulder is a gesture of flirtatiousness or attention. The right use of arms and hands to express feelings in a nonverbal communication is a great support for lovers. Your arms may open wide horizons to express self-confidence, stability, and control. But when you rub your hands together, this indicates tension, hesitation, nervousness, and anger. And when you are in a state of anxiety, you click on the table or put your hands in your pockets. If the person whom you feel love speaks and move a lot his or her hands, This means that he is tense and hesitant to admit to you what is inside him. It is one of the things that is easy to read, and it cannot be controlled to hide the inner feelings. When a person is thinking about something, he tilts his head to a certain side. Thus, when a person talks to you, that you suspect that he likes you and exchanges feelings with you, he will not move his head, but rather he will fix the head towards you, because for this moment everything that captured his mind and his thinking. The movement of the head and its steadiness towards the lover indicates the person's focus in the relationship and not being distracted. But if he tilts his head or moves it while talking to you, he does not exchange the same feeling with you and does not pay you the same attention, but rather occupies his mind with other thoughts. Mirroring behavior is an unconscious sign of attraction. To put it simply, mirroring is matching someone's behavior, whether it is his voice, words, or his nonverbal cues. When people are interested in one another, researchers have found that they tend to mimic each other's movements and gestures. For example, he picks his cap up after you take a sip. He runs his fingers through his hair right after you run your fingers through your hair. The matched movement could be a definite sign of attraction. At the very least, it means that he feels close to you or wants to be closer to you. His mirroring of your words may indicate a romantic interest in you. The eyes are the mirror of the soul. They never lie. The language of the eyes is one of the most easy to read parts of the body. The gestures of the eyes shows tension when seeing the beloved and the move in opposite directions quickly. Whenever your eyes meet the eyes of the person who loves you, he will immediately look away from you to try to hide his feeling. If both people look at each other for more than 3 seconds, the eyes will acknowledge the love and feelings that the person cannot translate into words. Either he is a genuinely admired person or a manipulative person trying to fake admiration and love. Another sign to show that you are in love is when you unconsciously develop a habit of always staring at the person even without any real intention. You don't even necessarily need to know why. It is just a natural trait along the falling in love process, which everyone does. There is a subconscious link between eye contacts and emotional links. For example, people make more eye contacts when they agree or when they like each other. The lips and mouth, in particular, are among the most important factors that help express a person's love for the other person, not with words but with a smile, as they are involuntary between the two people who love each other. A warm smile, not exaggerated smile, that reveals love feelings that both hide from each other. But some people use the smile in an unreal and deceptive way because the sign is known in body language to express love. The intended smile here is that emanates from the heart and involuntarily cannot be hidden, no matter what we try. It is a spontaneous smile. Nothing warms the heart as easily as a genuine smile. This is the kind that cannot be faked and that's produced purely by emotions. Every person has his own personal space in which He does not want anyone to enter it except the people he loves and is comfortable with. So when a person sits next to another person he loves, he does not think but does not feel that he is entering his own personal circle. Sitting close by is a body language of love. People you love nearly cannot help the strong urge to be physically proximate to their subject of affection. When you are drawn to an individual, the body knows it and will talk before any words of love are exchanged. The brain's emotional senses do register touch much quicker compared to auditory inputs. Touch comes across the board as a sign of inclusion and much interest. Dealing with our hair when meeting the person we love expresses our love for this person because it reminds us of being comforted by his presence. Because it is comforting, we also do it to bring more pleasure to an already pleasurable moment. It may also show tension. Self-touch increases when we are stressed because it brings us comfort subconsciously, partly because it releases oxytocin within us. If you are playing with your hair when stressed, your expression and body would be tense. When he touches your knees or tucks your hair behind your ear, he unconsciously wants to be closer to you. The light, casual touch on the form, shoulder, or back of the head subconsciously registers as reassurance and warmth.